Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Asad Yaqub, and many of you asked me to give you some sort of guess about the test which is going to be conducted on 5th of January and then 15th of January. Well, I can not tell you exactly what is going to happen in the test, but I can just tell you about the type of questions which are going to come. Then I can tell you the level of difficulty, and then I can give you a little bit guess about writing task 1 and task 2. But let me tell you, there's a brief warning. Guess is always a guess. Okay, so if it is going to happen or it is not going to happen, I don't know anything about that. Well, if we take a look at the test which was conducted on 15th of December, that was somewhat difficult. I mean, in some centers that was somewhat difficult, especially the reading module. So reading module was quite difficult for many students. As I told you before, whenever you take your IELTS test, please make sure that you are taking your test when it is full test. Full test means academic and gender training together. Now some of you take only academic test, and then academic test is difficult and then you are worried. So when it is conducted academic and gender training, mostly chances are listening is easier, and at times even your reading is easier. I'm talking about academic reading. So the first thing you need to make sure that whenever you take the test, it should be full test, academic and gender training. Now, as far as the test of 5th January and 15th of January is concerned, they are again going to mainly focus on multiple choice, because multiple choice has become very popular in IELTS test, and it is quite confusing. I mean, multiple choice in section 1, section 2, and there is no doubt that Cambridge University has made IELTS a little more difficult. If you just see, I mean, the way IELTS was conducted 5 years ago, 8 years ago, it wasn't that much difficult. But now, because of multiple choice, because of one word only, and there are some other certain type of questions in listening and reading, IELTS has become a little more difficult. So, this is the challenge. Whenever there is something difficult, what we do? We don't leave it. We try to do the difficult part. That's why whenever you practice your IELTS, whenever you are doing reading tests and the listening tests, please try to go for difficult tests. Let me tell you, speaking has no worry. I mean, you don't need to worry about anything about speaking. There is no worry about speaking. There is no worry about writing, because writing is the same. They give you the topics and all that. So anyways, this is all about listening and reading, and chances are, if you're taking the test on 15th of January or 5th of January, if it is a full test, then chances are it's going to be somewhat easier than the test which was conducted before. Because in IELTS this happens. Sometimes there is a difficult test, then the next time there is the easy test, and so on. And that is why when you repeat your IELTS, your band score varies. And there is another thing. This is very clever of them. What do? Sometimes they make listening easier, and then they make reading very difficult. Now those who want to get 8,777, they get 8 in listening, but in reading they get less band. And then next time reading is easier, listening is difficult, you get 7 band in reading, but in listening again you get 6.5 band. So these type of the cunning things are actually going on. But anyways, my advice is, if you are prepared very well, if you go beyond the clouds, if you are under the clouds, then everything is going to be difficult. But you practice so well, you practice all the modules, you practice every type of questions, then it is not going to be difficult. So my bet, or not bet actually, but my prediction about the test is that this time it's going to be somewhat easier test as compared to the last one, especially in reading. It can be possible that one section, because now they shuffle up all the old tests. They're shuffling up the readings, section 1 from some other test, section 2 from some other test, section 3 from some other test, and all that. So chances are at least 2 sections in reading are going to be easier, and one section can be quite challenging. and listening is going to be fine. There will be multiple choice, right? And listening is not going to be that much difficult this time, but remember, don't forget multiple choice and one word only. You need to do extra practice for multiple choice. Sometimes there are 20 questions of multiple choice in IELTS listening, so be ready for that. And the strategies are different. If multiple choice comes in section 1, it's different, it's easier. You can simply pick up a word. If it comes in section 4, they're the long statements. So again, you need to watch my videos on that. This is all about reading and about listening. So don't worry, somewhat it's going to be easier. And for gender training reading, it's not going to be that much typical, but yes, section 3 can be typical because section 1 and section 2, they are easier. Marking criteria of gender training and the band score is also different. So maybe in section 1 and 2 you will not have any trouble, but section 3, because of the nature of the passage or because of the topic of the passage, that can be somewhat difficult. So my advice for all gender training candidates is that please focus on section 3 gender training reading. Just section 3, focus on that, and this is where you can get the good bands. So that is why section 3 is going to be more important for gender training. Work harder. The questions are going to be the same which are going to come. I can't tell you the topic because I don't know the topic. This is just my guess, and let's see what happens. After that, as far as writing is concerned, in writing, for essay writing, you need to focus on 3-4 things. I told these things before in one of my videos as well. That is environment, global warming, pollution, crime, right? Or there can be anything like that. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but in one of my videos, I shared around 8 to 10 topics. And usually there can be anything. So let me tell you one thing. It's a very good idea for you all to read more and more about environment, to read more and more about global warming, to read more and more about crime, and to read more and more about international issues. Because every time when they give you the topic for writing an essay, there are some international issues. So you need to come up with something which is international, and you can have some international issues, read about them so that you gain some knowledge. And remember one thing, don't forget to read old topics as well, which have already come, so that at least you have some idea how to do that. And for writing task 1, there can be anything. I mean, I cannot be so sure about that. So for writing task 1, there can be a bar chart, pie chart, a process chart, right, or process diagram. So there can be anything, or chances are there's going to be a mixture. There can be a bar chart and there can be a pie chart as well. So you need to prepare all these. And for letter writing, don't worry at all. For letter writing, there's going to be a simple topic for gender training, because there are the letters for permission, for request, for appreciation, for feedback, for making a complaint. So if you prepare these 5 types, believe me, in your IELTS test there is going to be a topic from these 5 types actually. So if you like this video, hit on the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I also have another channel, Asad Yaqub Vlogs. You can like that channel, you can subscribe that channel as well. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, you can contact me for that. So this is just my prediction. And you see, I mean, I cannot accurately tell you, but this is just my prediction. And I hope this is going to happen in IELTS exam on 5th of January and 15th of January. I wish you all the best, those who are planning to take their IELTS test on 5th of January and those who are planning to take their IELTS test on 15th of January. A happy new year from Asad Yaqub, Lahore, Pakistan, and I wish you all the best with your IELTS tests. May you get your required band scores. Thank you very much. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.